Offerings and dilution coming next stop, $1.84 for Bionano. Not $10, not $15. It's not like we're going to get a bounce now that the market manipulation is done. No, $1.84. This is what this genius has come up with. The legend himself, Mark R. Hake. This guy, I hope this guy enjoys the money that he made making this article, because there is no way. I've looked at this person's credentials. They're not even that horrible. There is no way anyone in their right mind can say the crap that he just spewed out of his mouth. So we went sentence by sentence. We debunked everything. So I'm going to put a card on the top right for that. But now I wanted to actually list out every single reason as to why thinking that an offering is 100% coming, or multiple offerings, or dilution coming, especially at a 25% discount from the current stock price, especially when, if you just read the form with Cowen, literally he linked this form in his article, but he didn't see, I guess, to my understanding, you know, it literally is, and it would be an at the market offering, literally. Like, we're not talking 25% discount. I mean, that would be insane. So we are going to go over all of the reasons why offerings are not likely, and reasons why profitability and revenue is increasing stably. And when I say stably, I mean going up substantially, but still stably increasing year over year, quarter over quarter, and not necessarily consistent, like every quarter we're going to get higher, but consistently, roughly, right? For a stock as in Bionano's shoes, it's going to be very consistent, I think, as opposed to what the orthodox people are thinking. Some reasons that make more offerings, at the very least, a bit unlikely. The chief financial officer, Chris Stewart, said of Bionano, right? He said they believe they're cashed out, but this is the last earnings report, the one, not the last one 2 days ago, the Q4 2020. And he actually reiterated the exact same thing, right? He said nearly the exact same thing in the earnings call that we just got. He thinks their cash stockpile significantly de-risks the company, solidifies their financial future, and allows us to focus on the achievement of our long-term vision to disrupt genomics through the global adoption of Sapphire. Is there anything about that statement that makes you think they need more cash through offerings? I mean, if I was the chief financial officer, I wouldn't say that my current cash stockpile solidifies our financial future if I was planning on doing an offering anytime soon. Would you? But let's kind of put ourselves in the author's shoes here. The guy that is making big money just for writing some attempted market manipulation. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of the attempting market manipulator himself. Why, if he's probably thinking at one point, why do they need significantly more cash, right? He's probably thinking, acquisition, a huge one, right? That could happen. Besides that, why else would we need cash? Well, we just liquidated like a lot of debt. Pretty much all of our debt just got liquidated. We have $384 million in total assets. We have $22 million in total liabilities. I don't think we need much more cash. I mean, is there a huge acquisition coming? If there is, sure, maybe an acquisition will cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Even that is a little bit unlikely, I would say, for Bionano at this point. But if that could happen, that's a great reason for more offerings. Now, is it necessarily going to happen? Of course not, which is what directly contrasts this guy's dogmatic viewpoint, saying we're going to hit 184 most likely if we get one offering even. And that's not even all. Of course, he goes on to say we need a 25% discount. That's what he thinks we're going to get for the offering. It's like, what the hell? Where are you getting these numbers from? 25% discount? It's an at the market offering. That's what the form says. So it's like, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe this guy knows we're about to get a huge acquisition, which would be amazing, by the way. I don't even care if we have to dilute the shares a little bit and raise $350 million for a big acquisition that is a good deal for us. I am 100,000% for that. 100,000%. But saying that we need an offering, right? Or it's very likely to happen even. It's dogmatic, which means it's stating opinions as if they were facts, right? It's a very authoritarian type thing to do, and naive, in my opinion. Not to mention, right, the whole total liabilities to assets, we have way more assets than liabilities, right? So none of this is by no means is any of this screaming out for, we need more cash, offering, we're going to get diluted, share sell. Like, this is all just FUD. This is all just FUD of the market manipulators trying to scare people out of the stock. Their short positions are not looking too good right now. Institutions have been loading. The earnings report looked amazing. We have guidance. We have catalysts to look forward to. We have 5 studies. We have single nucleotide detection potentially. We have Lineagen continuing to add a ton of revenue for us. Sapphire 2.0 with a 14 times higher throughput. We also have the Regent rental program that is likely to bring more conversions over into actual Sapphire adoptions. We also have 47 Sapphires estimated to be sold by the end of the year, which represents $6.5 million in revenue. And we're going to be going over all of those points and more. So this brings me to my next point, right? And add in the fact that revenue growth and path to profitability is likely to continue to go way faster than expected. You may be wondering, Brandon, it's not really going way faster than expected. Yeah, it's not going super well, but it's going pretty damn well, I would say. I mean, obviously, even without neglecting if we beat or miss the analyst projections are steadily going up in the aggregate, right? Year over year compared to 2018 when we IPO'd, right? It's steadily, and right now it's really, compared to this year and quarter 4, it's really starting to look really nice. We got a revenue beat for quarter 1 2021. We got an EPS beat. We got an EPS match and a revenue beat for 2020 quarter 4. So it's looking good. It's what you want to see as far as financial growth and revenue growth and everything. So all the links here, I'm going to be linking this Reddit thread down in the pinned comment if you want to look at it. But back to what we're doing here. I would say that you have a damn compelling case with all of that. That an offering is not, it can certainly happen, but it is not by any means likely whatsoever in any way. So that is, it's fundamentally false to say that it's very likely that we're going to get an offering. It's very, I mean, yes, sure. If we're going to get an acquisition, a huge acquisition, I can see why they would, but they do not. According to the CFO and the CEO, they're not going to do an offering, in my opinion. Why revenue and profitability may come quicker than expected. Thus, why is this important, Brandon? I thought this was a video about the article here. Thus reducing the need for more cash and raises through offerings. There's going to be 43 Sapphires this year, projected by BNGO. How did I get that number? Well, in the presentation, there was a slide in there that said there was 107 total Sapphires that were sold in total this far, and there are 150 that are going to be projected to be sold by the end of 2021. After you do the basic math there, right, if you get 43 Sapphires, and then if you times that by the price of a Sapphire, you get 6.5 million roughly. Well, 6.3 is what I have here. I like to underpromise and overdeliver a little bit, not at the expense of my opinion, but better to do that than just be way off, right? So Sapphire costs 150,000. So that is something that we're going to be having for the rest of the year, right? If the projections are right. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, in my experience, Bionano likes to promise and over deliver as well. They like to give estimates that are going to be likely, and they also said all their 2021 milestones are intact. I would consider this a milestone, wouldn't you? If we get nano nozzle, this is going to increase more than 43. I mean, imagine if there was some sort of a single nucleotide variant detection. That we're going to talk about that as well, a little bit at least, and we're going to talk about that more in other videos as well. Imagine if we got that. Do you know what would happen with this number? This thing would double, if not triple, if not quadruple. You have to triple this as well and quadruple whatever it is here as well. So that's enough case already to have a nice revenue growth, and that's only one of like the 7 things we have. Consumables, right? So the chips, the kits, all of the things that come with the Sapphire, right? So this one's really hard for me to estimate. I'm gonna say, just to be really, I'm not sure here. Please comment if you know more about this than I do. I like to only give strong opinions on things that I'm very certain about and that I'm very well versed in. So $500,000 to $3 million. That's the range of revenue prediction I'm predicting, and these are for this year. These are for this year, the revenue in this total year, the rest of 2021, not including what it's already had. Sapphire 2.0, otherwise known as the 14 times higher throughput Sapphire. So basically, in short, right, nearly all high-volume labs will switch. According to the CEO, he thinks this will. Just watch the earnings report, just watch the webcast. It's not even that long. Plus, he also kind of said they expect many low and mid-volume labs to switch. They certainly would if there were innovations in the Sapphire. What does innovations mean? S&V detection, right? How about less than 500 base pair detection? How about anything that is improving the current Sapphire, which is likely to happen given the learning curve, I would argue. The CEO has already confirmed, and we have the source right here, and actually, because I actually have this pulled up right now, we're actually going to go ahead and look at the source right now. So new applications, and my sources are all, and here's the source right here. Okay, literally, if you want to go, there you go, earnings call for December 2020, right? That is it, and here it is. New applications, because some of the applications haven't even been developed, others are still on the come, in regards to talking about why the low single-digit billion-dollar number, total addressable market estimate of this, according to the CEO, is low. Right, low. It's the real addressable market is substantially larger. Ape language, the CEO basically the CEO has confirmed that there are applications, aka products, aka markets, innovations, improvements that have not been developed and are going to increase this by a substantial quote amount. If that doesn't get you excited for the future, I don't know what will. And there are other innovations as well. I'll put a card on the top right now detailing the video for the full due diligence, including the Sapphire 2.0 section. And that is also in that video. In the description, there's going to be a PDF document available for download and viewing on Google Doc form. And the Sapphire 2.0 section will be available in auditory video format and reading format. Lineagen, at least $3 million for the year. That's very conservative. Actually, the most likely case is actually more than $3.5 million. And I honestly think they could easily get $4, $5, $6 million in revenue this total year, especially if they start improving what they're going to be doing, which the learning curve is definitely going to be taken into it. Definitely going to be happening. I guarantee you it will be happening, because when you get acquired by another company, some things change. The bosses are different. The pay is different, right? Some stuff changes. The learning curve, it's not a gradual climb. It's like this. Boom, and it's an S curve, right? If you know what an S curve is, that's what it is. So I think one of these times, I'm not saying Lineagen is going to be great. Even if let's not even do the bull case. We already have $6 million right here for the rest of the year. We have what? Let's say 500,000 here. So what? Now we have almost $7 million. Then we have $3 million conservative here. So that's $10 million for the year. Divide that by 3, you're getting what? $3.5 million on the year, and we're not even done yet. And these are not all of the cash ways. These are not all the revenue ways. I say right here, there are many more reasons. I am tired, and I already detailed all of them to my knowledge in the Catalysts and the Financials 2021 section. So this is by no means the only sources of revenue that Bionano is going to be getting this year. No, not a chance. Add in the fact that Illumina and Quest Diagnostics literally owe us over $1.5 million, but actually I don't know if this is necessarily true. We do have on the total accounts receivable, we do have more than $1.5 million owed to us, but I don't know if the proportion is just these guys or if there's other stuff as well. But it's really cool that Illumina and Quest Diagnostics owe us some money. They might have, okay, that's a good thing, don't you think? Big long read sequencing, short read sequencing, next generation sequencing players are owing us money, buying our products, whatever it is that they owe us money for. I mean, come on now, that's something that you want to take into consideration. And I actually do want to go and show the source really quick as to how I got the number right here, the 384 million. It is going to be right here. Hold on. Okay, sorry, right here. So 384 million. So if we zoom in here, right, your total assets, if we go sideways here, I'll just do it this way because it's probably easier. Right there, 384 million, and then blah, blah, yada, yada, 22 there. And then here is your accounts receivable, net of allowance for doubtful accounts, blah, blah, yada, yada, right? So this basically just means money that is owed to us, $2 million on March 31st, 2021, end of Q1 2021. We don't know when that's going to come in. We don't know if that's going to come in this year, but it's going to come in one day. And guess what? Analysts, they are not going to be able to predict when, most likely. So that is something that's going to be good. Revenue beat, earnings per share beat. That's what that's going to be. That is evidence to suggest that you may want to hold through earnings and add before earnings until this until this number goes down a little bit, because who knows when that's going to come in. Next quarter, 5 years from now. I mean, probably not 5 years from now, but you know what I mean. Add in the fact that the 5, not 1, not 2 studies meant to prove Sapphire's use in research only, right? We already know Sapphire's been used in countless times, right? In prognosis, which is like pragmatic solutions, treatment, care, right? And then diagnosis. The institution needs to be laboratory developed test approved, though, to do this, right? If they're going to use the Sapphire for this stuff. If you are worried about the whole FDA approval thing, why are we only research only? Why are we not approved for everyone to do prognosis and diagnosis? I will put a card on the top right for the FDA approval video, and you can just watch the full DD video or the document. You can do that as well. I'm going to link that in the pinned comment and the description. So to prove the Sapphire's use only, research use only in niches in prenatal testing, postnatal testing, that's 2. Hematological malignancies in leukemia, that's 4. Also hematological malignancies in lymphomas, that's 4. Sorry, 1. This is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And 5th is going to be solid tumor research. All of this stuff can increase sales. And what I'm expecting this number to be much higher. 43 Sapphires that are going to be purchased this year left. I think this is going to be higher for the rest of the year. I really do. I think this is going to be much higher. And I also think the Sapphire 2.0 is going to get a ton of sales that, I think the Sapphire 2.0 could easily, be closer to 5 million than 1 million in revenue. And that would be enough to send out revenue projections we would be beating all revenue projections if that was the case. Not even to mention the innovations that could happen, right? BNGO would moon if we got any substantial innovation in Sapphire, which the CEO has already confirmed. We've already proved that. And any of that can happen, and that's going to increase sales. And this is just one more reason why I think this is going to increase. 43 Sapphires this year, really? That's what you're projecting, Brandon? That's what the company is projecting. Me, I'm projecting higher than that. And there are many more reasons. Leave your number one reasons in the comments as to why Bionano's revenue will increase. And revenue streams for Bionano that I did not list here. Most of them are listed here. I probably, if you don't see what they are here, I probably do have them listed here. So the article goes on to say we hired a Cowen Company to raise another $350 million based on its S3 shelf registration. For some reason, this author here just does not know that hiring Cowen Company, this company here that we hired a while ago. I'm going to show you the file for that in a little bit, but maybe it wasn't primarily for offerings. According to the CEO, right? According to a high up insider, okay, I don't really I can't really say where the source was, where I got this from, so you can easily disagree with me on this. Feel free to not believe this whatsoever, because technically I can't prove it to you. I could, but I don't want to do that for privacy reasons and confidentiality reasons. So according to a high up insider, their analyst here is the best in the game. So these are some legit reasons why we may want this company to be working with us besides just for the offerings. So this is the form, March 23rd, 2021. Technically, my understanding is that Bionano could, if they want, I still need to read this one right here, and I need to read some other one. I need to read all of this as well. I've read most of this, but I need to understand a little bit more of that better. But basically, to my understanding, right, we can do any offering. Bionano could do an offering technically right now. They could do it, but here's the thing: it has to be the aggregate offering price has to be up to $350 million, no more than that. That is what that's the maximum, right, for one offering. Also, the other thing is that it has to law deemed by an at the market offering. That's basically what you have to do, to my knowledge. But I need to do a little bit more research on that, so I'm not 100% sure. I'll clarify that in the videos to come, most likely. Here are some concluding and important points that you need to you can maybe make some extrapolations on. Okay, the offering at $3, right? We had two offerings, right? They gave us money. It gave us money for cash flow to break even without additional dilution, right? Offering at $6, it gave Bionano the opportunity to revolutionize. It gives Bionano the opportunity to revolutionize not only the analysis of genomes, but much of the healthcare sector, which has a total addressable market of I'm just going to say just much more than $3.5 billion. That is damn sure. Single nucleotide variant detection. These are some things that are going to be happening down the line that have been hinted at by the CEO, by the insiders, and some things that could easily push the revenue way higher. Nano nozzle, right? If you want to learn more about any of this stuff, I recommend the due diligence. Go read that and watch that. I covered everything in here. The 14 times higher throughput Sapphire, right? That's coming Q4. Applications that have not even been developed yet, right? We've already gone over that. A minimum of 5 likely groundbreaking studies this year. And I have question marks over this just because, is it going to bring revenue or not? How much? We don't know. Is this stuff even going to happen? We're not sure. That's why I have question marks. We know some of this is definitely sure to happen. Added sales through converting Regent rental program customers. That's something that no one even knows about. I mean, I barely knew much about this until the earnings report on Thursday. This is something that they are going to be trying to increasing the effect of this, I think. Huge institutional ownership increase. I think we're going to get a huge institutional ownership increase as we hit profitability, as we become profitable, which will likely be within a few years, if not next year or even Q4. I think we're going to be getting into my Q4 revenue projections. I think Q4 is going to be a huge quarter. At the end of the day, it's really hard to predict when we're going to be profitable, just because operating expenses and total revenue. Obviously, these are the two things that determine it at the end of the day, but revenue we can predict, expenses much harder to predict. Anyways, all in all, right, this is going to increase as we start seeing more stable revenue, stability, and as opposed to innovation and potential, which is what we are now. And we talk more about that in the BNGO Full DD that I'll have linked. Less than 500 base pair detection, SV detection, structural variation detective. This one is more speculative, but if it happened, we would move. And long read sequencing, next generation sequencing, short read sequencing, they all cannot detect higher than 300 base pairs. To my knowledge, karyotyping is the main competition we have for Sapphire for right now for the structural variation detection in cancer, which is one of the biggest markets they want to penetrate. If we were able to get any sort of range and knowledge as to what's going on with 300 base pair to 499 base pairs, Yeah, I mean, it's going to go up 1,000%. It's going to go up at least hundreds of percent if that happened, I think. It's just such a big market. But anyways, this video is way too long anyways. Conclusion, an offering is 100% possible, right? But it's not guaranteed to effectuate. It's not guaranteed. The reasons above, I believe, make it decently unlikely. I think it's pretty unlikely that we're going to see offerings, at least at the current prices, right? I mean, maybe if we go to $30, yeah, maybe they want to do a huge acquisition. I can see that. But I think the case for no offerings at all in all of 2021, it's reasonable, but not as likely as, they're not going to do an offering now, but when we get to $20, $30, $100, maybe they want to do some big acquisitions. Maybe they want to do a little bit of cash raising. And it's such a benefit to raise hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue with not that much. I mean, it's not that bad. Offerings are underrated in my opinion. We can do that in another video though. And at the market offering price is something I would load up on, as historically and pragmatically, it would likely be an extremely auspicious as a buy zone. Substantial revenue increases and profitability, I believe, will come much faster than simply Wall Street currently has projected. Anything under $10 is a steal long term, in my opinion. Please do your own research. I can be wrong on any of this. Too long, didn't read. Too long, didn't focus, right? So the article claiming that we're going to go to 184, right? It is bull. There's no other way to say it. It is absolute BS. This post is a debunking of its claims, and here's a video. This is that is the video that we did earlier, right? Of almost the exact same thing, right? You can go check that out if you want. I put a card. The card's already been up there. Anyways, too long, didn't read. For the too long, didn't read. Market manipulators are resorting to low-effort speculative claims to try to push BNGO even further down, as they are realizing they cannot keep us down for much longer. Too long, didn't read. For the too long, didn't read. For the too long, didn't read. BNGO moon, ape language, YOLO, $30 strike price to $100 strike price, 420, 2022. Or 2023 calls. Let's go. If you are at all interested in supporting this post on the BNGO subreddit, let's see how many likes we have now. We should be upvoting this post. This is a post that took me a while to do, and it's got great information in it, I think. Let's see what the percent is. Okay, 100% upvoted. That's what I'm talking about. I'll link it in the pinned comment. So feel free to go give that some love down there. Portfolio showcase and current positions and price targets. I'm gonna have a whole video on price targets, but those are the current positions. Take a screenshot right now or a picture, pause it, whatever, for the current positions whole of that. Relevant information in regards to title is finished now. Discord is free, and the Discord is linked in the description. I need smart, knowledgeable people who are going to respond, and not people who are not afraid to be wrong, people who are afraid to actually talk with me and figure out what stuff means, because there's a lot of complex stuff, especially in the SEC filings, that I've got so many SEC filings that I'm gonna have to read this week, and literally that's my weekend fund. But I need people to help me dissect that and understand it. So anyways, Discord's free. Price charts as well. We're gonna do a video on that. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one.